Welcome to this unique modern home about 2 hours outside of New York City. This spot is called Ladar West, and it has been featured in a bunch of different publications ranging from Dwell and the Huffington Post. You have actually two buildings here. There is the main house. My favorite part is definitely the living room and kitchen with its floor to ceiling windows and the fireplace. But perhaps actually my favorite part of this entire property is their second building. It is right in the backyard, and I would describe it as a tiny home office that also happens to have a bed inside of it. This place is just the epitome of cozy cabin vibes. For all of you hardcore cabin lovers, I feel like this is the type of spot you always see on Instagram and you dream of living in. There are just books everywhere on every inch of the walls inside of this little tiny home. You have a cute little wood stove, your bed, and windows everywhere. It is so peaceful, and I would love just to stay there for like a month and just to completely reset and disconnect. So this is a really special spot, guys. Without further ado, let's now go and start the full tour. Let's go and check out this modern mountain cabin in New York. I had a fire going in the indoor fireplace throughout my stay, so you have all of the smoke coming out of the chimney and adding to those cozy cabin vibes. This is actually the back side of the exterior. There's not a whole lot to see on the front besides the main entrance and the driveway. We're there right now actually, but let's now go and see the interior. When you first enter on the right, there are a bunch of doors. They lead to the downstairs, a bathroom, and two bedrooms. But we're gonna first go into the door on the far right and into the first bedroom. This cabin sleeps up to 6 guests in total, and this is definitely the kiddies' room. You have a bunk bed and also a separate queen mattress. There are a bunch of games and books as well over there on the far left-hand side, but let's now go and continue on with the tour. Down the same hallway, we'll go into this door next, and this leads into the second bedroom, which is the master bedroom. There are a lot of paintings and photos, decorations from Italy. I think that the owner is definitely a fan of that country, and I certainly can't complain. He also has some colorful floral bed sheets throughout. Along this other wall at the end of the bed, you have a simple desk and work from home setup, not to mention a large amount of windows, and you can look into the backyard. Next, we'll go directly across the hall and into the master bathroom. This is shared between those two bedrooms. There's plenty of great lighting throughout this room. You have a pretty typical toilet and then bathroom sink setup. Now, if you look over here, you have that gorgeous shower along the far wall. You have all of those small square tiles, your public goods, shampoo, conditioner, and body soap, and then your shower head up top. Now, for the final direction in the same hallway, we're gonna go and walk down this staircase. There are some beautiful photos and paintings throughout, and we're not gonna spend too much time here on the bottom floor, but there is an additional bathroom. It's very similar to the master bathroom that we just saw. Really, the only key difference is you have a bathtub here instead of a shower, so this bathroom is perhaps more for the kids, and the master for mom and dad. Finally, on this floor, you do have a washer and dryer unit and some countertop space. There are 2 doors, but they are off limits to Airbnb guests. Back on the main floor, I'm now gonna walk through this main door and into my favorite space in the home. And that has your living room and then the kitchen along that far wall. I'll use a magic trick and get a fire up and going. And I love this main wall, which has your smart TV over there on the left, and all of this gorgeous black tiling that surrounds the fireplace. If we look more up top, you have that main piece of art hanging from the wall. There's also a floor-to-ceiling bookcase over there on the left. These owners definitely love their books. You'll see even more in the sleeping hut. And this is just another view looking more at the couch. There's also a large bench along this other wall. Let's now go and shift gears and enter more into the dining and kitchen area. So right behind the couch, you have this large dining table. It can seat up to 8 guests total in one of those slick black modern chairs. But my favorite part, perhaps of this entire space, is this gorgeous hanging lighting fixture. This thing is just massive. This is me walking over and trying to give you guys a perspective as to just how large this thing is. Right behind the dining table, there is then your kitchen along that far wall. You have all of these nice high-end stainless steel appliances like your fridge and freezer, your coffee maker, your stovetop and oven, and your microwave. You truly have it all. And here's just more of the windows in this space. Again, you have floor-to-ceiling windows, so the natural light in here is impeccable. But let's now go and open up this sliding door to go to the backyard and to also go and see the sleeping hut. For starters, you do have this nice outdoor deck right next to the main cabin, which includes a few different seating options and a grill, so you can have a nice summer barbecue out here with your family or friends. There are a few other amenities in the backyard as well, like a swing for the kids, a nice hammock much closer to the main cabin, and this building I believe is for storage and was even a chicken coop at least at one point. There's also this for the kids as well. When I jumped off, I realized I'm way too old to be playing with that. And also right down the road, this is Round Out Reservoir. Let's now go and check out one of my favorite parts of the entire property, and that again is the sleeping hut and tiny home in the backyard. I love the slick and black modern exterior design. This is again a 10 or 15 second walk from the main cabin. There is also an additional fire pit here. You know me and my fires, I had to get another one up and going for you guys for this video. You do have that big window, which allows a nice view out into the backyard, and you have plenty of light coming in. But let's now go and open up this door and go and see the interior. And welcome to the interior. There must be hundreds of books in here. I think it would take you several years to get through all of them. There's another hanging lighting fixture that we saw, similar to what was inside of the main cabin. This one is just way smaller. And along this other wall, you do have your mattress. It's called a sleeping hut for a reason. So yes, you can technically sleep overnight here. There's also a comfortable leather chair and a small table. And then here is your desk. You can work from it or just use it to get some reading done. And after that, there is your floor to ceiling window. So you can use it to look out into the backyard and the woods. And last but definitely not least, there's actually a wood stove in here. So this is me making my third fire in this video. I've made so many fires throughout this thing, but this just adds to all the cozy vibes that you can just really disconnect if you choose to stay overnight in this spot. Thanks for watching, guys. All booking info is down in the video description, and I will see you very soon for another Airbnb tour.